Like a famished bumblebee, she wandered into the blossom of my soul. Undaunted by the thorny danger, she aroused my longings out of control. With hungry intent and eager touch, she embraced my seat of deep affection. An expert hunter, silent and focused, she tickled and outwitted my senses. She pinned my emotions with the arrow of her captivating compassion. The hunter and the hunted were both entangled in the wilderness of passion. Agreeable to my eyes, her glance was like a net in which I came entangled and from which there was no requisite to escape. Like colors of the rainbow, she painted my spirit with the dyes of her hues. Transfixed by the relish of love, I succumbed to her restless desires infused. As I surrendered like water, contorting to her shape, I submitted to her. She became the receptacle that embraced my being, as I readily concur. Contained within each other, she became the time and space in which I existed. I felt there was unfinished business in the soul's rebirth, and I did not resist. She became the spice that brought a rich aroma to my appetite. Her aura was the magic that intensified the measure of both our flavors. As I silently walked, she became the sound of the footsteps which followed. As the wind carried her presence, she became that which I was lost within. Like waves of a river, I was solid and free, yet contained within her banks. She shaped my journey, and within her, I flowed confidently with a purpose. But the cosmic will changed our course and turned our possibilities around. It came a time as we were scripted to change our trails and tear ourselves apart. The life you see is not the way that it appears to be, as all states that come must go. I was graced with the realization that life was not the way I thought it would be, that life and its layers and seasons of love and joy and sorrow are ungraspable. My heart embraces that this life is an illusion, which is a reality we often forget. Every experience of hurt, love, and longing passes away, subject to loss or regret, but buried in the impermanence of life and love is our capacity for compassion. Am I unknowingly indentured in the inflated illusions of the ego, being trapped in the trauma of the womb from a long time ago? Or is it the conditioning from the many previous births and rebirths, the net karma that the soul has accumulated for all it is worth, creating an uncertain route map that I must allow myself to follow? Life is full of unforeseen temptations, but sometimes I often wonder, why suffer the humiliation as my heart trembles to confront her? To lose itself in the wine of her kiss, it has effortlessly memorized. Her touch that awakens within me the heavily sunken memories of 1,000 births and 1,000 rebirths before this. I am amazed at how my heart has felt, without it having been taught, unleashed, and mingling with the orgasmic fantasies of the girl from India. Curious, adventurous, and careless feelings, which I couldn't lead it. Intimate reflections that created a portrait of two authentic people, and the irresistible ways in which we can struggle in our life and love. I am convinced that love that grows at its pace cannot end abruptly. Though the universe continues to evolve, I am frozen in her time. While I am confined to watching the rerun of my sensual lustfulness, I console myself that the heart is born eager and crowded with desire, and it has to soar and shape itself to the longings it discerns. Am I unknowingly indentured in the inflated illusions of the ego? Am I still tangled in the trauma of the womb from a long time ago? Or is it the conditioning from the many previous births and rebirths, the net karma that the soul has accumulated for all it is worth, creating an uncertain route map that I must allow myself to follow? In which ways can I go to circumvent the magic of her moments? I was in love, with my heart in the cloud and my head in the mound. Given no warning of what was to come, I was lifted off the ground. Had I known the outcome, I wouldn't have let my heart be undone. Lost in the story of our thoughts is like a man on his porch, let's say, watching the colorful birds soar and sing as they frolic and play. He stood on his porch and sang a song for the finches that day, and didn't notice instead that the robins came and danced in disarray. My heart melts with her love, and I awkwardly pour it onto the floor so it can dwell at her feet that day as she walked out the door. That some of it will go with her, perhaps at the bottom of her shoe, as walking away without care or concern was what she chose to do. What can I say of my concessions if this was what was right for her? We have come a long way, and traveling alone is a fact we can concur. And between the coming and the going, as per the cosmic will, there was a wide gap that our passionate love bridged and filled. It irks me that we dwell in the crowd and struggle to stay relevant, bumping into people's hearts, hurting each other with self-importance, then recluse our mind to a comfort zone and rejuvenate our heart, then casually pull the curtain and join the melee again for a fresh start. In which ways can I go to circumvent the magic of her moments? I was in love, with my heart in the cloud and my head in the mound. Given no warning of what was yet to come, I was lifted off the ground. Had I known of the pain, I wouldn't have let my heart dance like thunder.